Mr. Frank Cooper, thanks for speaking with us. So first, let's start off with what's on top on your agenda during your trip, this trip to China. And of course, this is the first trip that you visited the country after becoming Visa's Chief Marketing Officer.
Yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me. Really a pleasure to be here. I'll tell you what's top of mind. It's Shanghai Fashion Week, and we've been connected to creators and the creator economy because we believe not only is it growing at an exponential rate, but we know that there's value exchange happening within the creator economy. We think we can be helpful. And so when we look at something like Shanghai Fashion Week, I'm fascinated by especially the young creators who are coming up, and they're effectively small businesses. And what do small businesses need? They need capital, they need infrastructure, they need know-how. And so what's top of mind for me is how can we be helpful as a company and a brand to these creators and these entrepreneurs who in this case happen to be in the fashion industry.
But if we look back at Visa's development or expansion here in China, so Visa is among one of the first international payment providers to establish services here in China almost 40 years ago. So how has that process come along?
Yeah, it's interesting because we've been here a long time. We've grown with the economy, but a lot of our revenue and our connections still relate to cross-border travel. And so if you look at cross-border travel, it's a significant part of what we do within China. I think the opportunity, and this is partly why we're here, is to go deeper with kind of some of the domestic activity happening, particularly with creators. Now what I love about this set of creators, this next generation of creators, is that they're uniquely Chinese in terms of what they produce, but it has global appeal. And so we think that also is going to cross boundaries, cross regions, cross borders. And so it's consistent with our presence within China over the past 40 years.
So you mentioned about the creator economy, so that not just focuses on larger businesses, but also medium to smaller sized entrepreneurs or younger designers. But we can definitely see there is still the continued trend of Chinese firms going global, expanding global market shares. Why are they important to Visa, or how important are they to Visa?
The size of the market is going to be important to any company, right? So if you look at in China, just the number of people, the growth of the marketplace, but what's changed for us is that it's not just the supply chain, it's not just the efficient manufacturing, it's the creation of things that people want to exchange. That to me is the big shift. And so for us, it's what's happening across virtually every economy, that the things that people want to exchange happen to be increasingly intellectual property, or happen to be creative design, or happens to be music, or happens to be something within a video game, or it's a creator who happens to be an influencer selling a new product. So for us, we think if you just run the math against that, particularly for the next generation of consumers, it's important for us both to establish a relevant connection to those consumers, but also to capture the value that's coming out of that.